Got him. There you go. Got hooked up again.
Take this, Bill Dance. Here it comes.
I'm Erick Baker, and I've lived in Tennessee my entire life. However, for the last decade, touring the world, I've only seen it passing by from a windshield. But finally, Tennessee is calling me back where I belong.
There's a place you've never been. It's right where you want to be.
I want to rediscover how great my home state is, and I want you to come with me.
Uncharted.
On this episode, we travel to Douglas Lake, located just outside historic Dandridge, Tennessee. Constructed in 1942, Douglas threatened to flood most of downtown Dandridge. Since it was the second oldest city in the state, citizens rallied and petitioned then First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt to construct a protective dam. From that time, the passion of this small community has continued to hold, building up around a thriving recreational and angling culture, which is what brings me here today. I've always loved the smell of an old tackle box. Every time I unbuckle the latch and pull the lid back, all the hard edges of the world seem to soften. There are hints of melted corks and plastic worms, dried night crawlers and fossilized crickets. It's a symphony of scent. But over the years, if there's one thing that fishing has taught me, it's that there's a lot more than just tackle in a tackle box. I grew up pond fishing mostly, so as we headed out to bass fish on Douglas Lake, I was feeling a bit like a fish out of water. See what I did there?
How's it going? You doing all right? I'm Eric.
Captain Dave.
All right, well, can I be Admiral Eric then?
You're Admiral Eric today.
All right, that works.
You ready to go after him?
I am, man, I am. Just hopefully the rain's gonna hold off.
Dear Lord.
No, it's coming.
Dear Lord, please let us go fishing.
See, we got a pretty good little sail. Thunderstorm looks like it's going to come through here, so we're going to hold off getting out on the water, you know, just to be safe.
Be safe, okay.
So it's probably going to take, 15, 30 minutes to hopefully this be blow through and go away, and then we can go hit the water. Okay, Eric, finally it's out of here.
I love it, I love it. High and dry.
We're ready to go. Hopefully the storm, hadn't really affected them much.
Yep, I trust you. Anybody named Captain.
That could be a bad deal. We're gonna catch some fish. We'll be all right, man.
All right.
Okay.
I come from a long line of bakers who believe that all the casting and reeling of bass fishing is a little too much like work. But as every angler finds, no matter how much we think we know, there's always more to learn.
I haven't spent any time up here. The benefit of hiring a guide, just for people who are looking to fish.
Well, like I said, even if you've never, I take everybody out from the pros to the complete novices, the beginner. You don't have to have anything. You just pick up a license if you need it, and we'll get you out, take you out, to catch bluegill.
Everything.
Right, everything.
I'm ready to reel in a whopper.
Here's what you do, okay? You just throw that thing out there. Let it go to the bottom, okay? So as it hits bottom, just take off again with it.
As far as setting the hook, same thing?
Set the hook hard, not like top water. You get a bite on this, you rear back and swing the rod, okay?
All right,
Because you're gonna have a lot of line out, you got a big bait with a big hook, okay?
All right.
And we're gonna see if we can catch a few fish on these things.
As I look back, fishing has actually taught me a lot about life. For instance, I am not a patient man, but what little patience I have, I attribute to the hours I've spent waiting for even the faintest hint of a bite.
Don't reel it, just let it go straight down, then pick it up and start reeling it. Now, you do all right this way, but when you got both hands involved, then you can really snap it. Just
So we know fish are all around us, and we've been kind of following them around here for an hour or so.
Well, you know, we're chasing these largemouth, smallmouth bass down here on these ledges and stuff.
Right.
And, you know, I know by looking at the graph, the fish are there. I'm pulling the baits right in front of their eyeballs. I've tried some different baits, different colors. They're just not wanting to bite. We're going to make a couple more casts, then we're going to a whole new area. I mean, that's the reason you move around. I mean, don't just sit there on the spot. If you spend a half hour on the spot, changing baits, trying different stuff, you don't get a bite to move.
They say the biggest things in life happen when you least expect them. So I've learned to always be prepared and to never give up, because eventually, a fish has got to eat too.
Got him. There you go. Got hooked up again.
Take this, Bill Dance. Here it comes.
That's a little better one, man. Take your time.
Okay.
Take your time. Just keep it tight. That's a better one. Yeah, that's a better one. Just take your time. No, don't reel anymore. Just take it. Swing to me. Swing up here.
All right. Very nice. So that's a largemouth.
This is a largemouth.
Okay.
See the spots?
Yep.
Sort of a sign of a healthy fishery because of the minerals in the water and so forth.
So what does this guy weigh? About how big is that?
Yeah, that's just about 1.25 pounds.
Okay.
Something like that.
Now go back right over yonder, because that's where I'm going to be casting.
Most importantly, I've learned that in the end, it's not what you catch that matters. A bad day fishing still beats the heck out of a good day at work.
I feel like $1 million right now, man.
It doesn't matter if you're 8 or 80. It's the same rush. It's the same feeling.
Absolutely.
We hit the mother load.
All right. Victory!
Now that I've gotten a chance to learn some of the basics of bass, it's time to learn more on the basics of boating.
Summer's all about fun in the sun and fun on the water. And today we're riding along with Kurt Henderson, who's a wildlife officer for the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Well, man, I must say, you have a beautiful office.
It's tough some days.
So what are we going to get into today, Kurt?
We're going to start out with a big dose of fun, but we want to make sure we have safety. It's a paramount in our mindset.
What are the main things that you're looking for?
We look for mandatory equipment. Let's start with life jackets. There has to be one on board in good working order for every soul. We look for a fire extinguisher that is fully charged. We also want to see a Type 4 throwable or ring buoy.
All right.
Well, you all look like you've got that's in case somebody goes overboard and is in distress, you can throw them that. And we also check for current registration of your vessel. All right, well, I see we got somebody up here, looks like they're fishing and having a good day. Let's make sure they have the proper safety.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
All right. Hello guys, I'm Officer Henderson from the state of Tennessee. I see we're doing a little fishing today. Glad to see you have the life jackets on. Just need to take a look at your valid registration and a working fire extinguisher if you have one. Do you know how to properly test this kind? If it has the safety in, you can push the button down, it'll pop back up, means you have pressure. Okay. Well, that one's good.
Yeah,
You've come a long ways to fish there, lady.
yeah.
What part of Texas do you live in?
North of Tyler.
Oh yeah, I was just in Texas yesterday.
Oh, you were?
I was. Guys, we appreciate your cooperation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good luck to
Be
you.
safe.
Hey, all right. All right. Thank you very much. I just think that the people here in Tennessee, we're so fortunate to have a place like Douglas Lake in our backyard. So I appreciate you being out here and protecting it and keeping us all safe and helping us enjoy all of this.
Thank you, and I'll see you again.
It's been a full day so far, but I've got a couple of places left to visit before I call it a day.
When it comes to catching a lot of fish, talent and luck can only get you so far. Without the right bait and the right knowledge of the lake that you're fishing, you can get caught dead in the water. So we're heading into Bucks and Bass to talk tackle with one of the top experts in the area. I'm spending a few days up here at Douglas Lake, and I've never been here, so I'm looking for a gear guru, if you will. So can you help me out?
All right, we'll find one for you.
Can you help me out?
Sure, sure.
Well, let's just start. You know, I've never fished Douglas Lake.
Douglas is what I like to refer to as a deep fishing lake. It seems as though that when these fish come up and spawn, as soon as they're done spawning, they'll go out and then they go deep. But the lures that, need to be used, Eric, is probably bigger baits. One of the baits has been the Lure Jensen 3/4 ounce hot lip. It's a bait that you crank, you throw it out there as far as you can throw it.
Okay.
Just crank it down as deep as you can get it.
When it comes to picking your baits and what people are buying, is some of it, superstition or...
I would have to answer that by saying this: total confidence.
Okay.
Total confidence. What people mostly has been successful in the past with is what they're going to stick with in the future. What do you feel comfortable fishing?
I like the active fishing.
cranking?
Yeah, man. I want to be working it, I want to be working. Let's look in that
Well,
direction.
let's start out with the 3/4 ounce hot lips.
All right.
If packed properly, a tackle box should sound just like a percussion instrument when you pick it up. Moving from spot to spot, its rattle and thump is the bass line to the soundtrack of every fisherman's life. The more complex the sound, the more soothing and comforting, because that means it's filled with the reassurance that no matter what happens, the answer is in the box.
After a long day on the water, there's nothing like a cold beverage. Luckily for us in Dandridge, that cold beverage comes courtesy of Tinsley Bible Drug Company. So let's go in and check it out. How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. How about with you?
I'm doing all right. I'm
Good.
Eric.
Hi, I'm Peggy.
Peggy, nice to meet you.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. And I'm here for a soda.
Oh, good.
I hear that this is the place to come, right?
You are right.
That's an old school
That's
kind
the
of thing.
old-fashioned cherry soda.
A blast from the past right there.
Right.
Awesome. I know that this place has been here for 100 years, right?
Right.
How long have you been here?
Starting my 24th year.
24th year.
Right. I have lived here all my life. As a little girl, on Saturday, what you did, we came to Dandridge. And the young people hit the drugstore, so we had a good time.
So how much has changed in those 24 years?
It's changed tremendously. We're the only business that I can think of right now that's still the same. Still got the same name. Dr. Tinsley started it, and then back in the 30s, Doc Bible was hired in as a pharmacist. Well, Dr. Bible bought part of it.
Sitting here sipping this soda, I realized that my best memories really didn't have a whole lot to do with how much we caught, but the time we spent together. Yet another one of life's great lessons I picked up through fishing is having the ability to appreciate the search as much as the catch. And as I watch the folks at Tinsley Bible protect the heritage of Dandridge, I'm reminded of how universal the skill really is.
Peggy, nice to meet you.
All right, thanks for coming by.
Yes, ma'am,
Well,
yes, ma'am.
Anytime you're back in Dandridge, why, step back in and see us.
The sun's just come up here at Douglas Lake as we get ready for the Bass Pro Shops High School Tournament Series. The excitement's high and the boats have already launched as they're getting ready for blast-off. We're gonna be following some of the teams around, so we'll see you out there on the water.
When I think back to my earliest memories of fishing, I can't help but think of my father. He not only taught me the ropes, but got me hooked for life as well. But since having my daughter Annabelle, it's difficult to think about fishing without thinking of her. It's no longer just a personal pastime, but an opportunity to pass on a passion and impart life lessons in the process.
We're on Douglas Lake today, and we've got 10 teams out here competing in the first ever Bass Pro Shops High School Tournament Series Championship. We've had over 40 teams representing 9 high schools vying for a spot in this tournament today. You know, what better way to spend our time than outdoors? And getting our youth involved in fishing Each one of these schools that are represented, they've created clubs at their schools, high school fishing clubs. They do community service projects. They'll go out to the local ramps and do a trash detail pickup. It's a really good program, and we have got a lot of good responses from the community.
So I'm here with David Clark, who is the Maryville team school sponsor. Man, the Bass Club. When I was in high school and junior high, that was an opportunity that wasn't offered to me. I just think it's an awesome opportunity for kids to get outside.
Yeah, about 5 years ago, we started our program, and it's a TBF funded program.
Okay.
Which is the Bass Federation. We meet once a month. We'll have guest speakers. And then we try to have our own individual club tournaments. And then we also have it offered, we have about 5 or 6 girls on our roster this year. So we're trying to spread the wealth to everybody to have something to do, and especially be outdoors.
Excellent. So the tournament has just started, and we've just caught up with our TWRA Maryville team. Now we're going to be following them around all day today and watching the action and just seeing how these guys get it done. How's it going, guys? How's today been treating you?
Awesome so far.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you got 5?
We got 5.
So that's that 5th one's a big sigh of relief, right?
Yeah.
How did you get involved in the Bass Club?
Started in middle school when they first started it.
So how does this compare to football, would you say?
I like this a whole lot more.
You do?
Yeah. It's a lot more entertaining.
Oh, all right.
We don't have to deal with Coach Ellis.
Coach Ellis, I hope you're not watching right now.
Yeah, we came out here and did a little practice yesterday, and now we're back out here on the water today.
Boy.
Fishing tournament.
Enjoying it.
Right on. Well, hey, thank you guys for taking the time, and I wish y'all luck at the weigh-in. We're going to see you guys there. While we're well on our way to reeling in a trophy here, some aquatic residents at Douglas Lake are a little less desirable than others. So we caught up with TWRA biologist David Roddy to learn more. Tell me, what does ANS stand for exactly?
ANS stands for Aquatic Nuisance Species, and in the state of Tennessee, we've got 35 that we know of. It's the aquatic animals and vegetation.
So an invasive species that has a pretty serious sound to it.
With the Asian carp, we have heavy concentrations of them. They will actually deplete the microscopic food, which is the bottom of the food chain for our larger fish, and that's affecting the food chain all the way up to your large fish, your stripers and your bass. Because the zebra mussels are continuously filtering the water, they can filter about 1 liter of water a day. So they're taking micronutrients out of the water as well. These are adult zebra mussels. When they're young, we call them villagers. They're the microscopic size of the adult. And you'll see them on rocks and concrete around our dams and whatnot.
And like the hull of a boat, if
Absolutely.
It's sitting still?
Anything plastic, fiberglass, it doesn't matter to them. And that's one way that these adults are transported. They get on a boat, they attach, and you can go from one reservoir to another. Real common areas that you would think about at the water line, all the way down to the bottom of the hull. You need to check the intakes of your live well, any holding water. Adult zebra mussels, they'll attach to stainless steel boats. The intake, the lower unit, they also like the inside of the prop. We do recommend, if you're immediately going to another reservoir, to use a 10% bleach solution in your live wells. And we also recommend a 48-hour dry period for the entire boat.
For everyone out there who'd like to find out more about ANS and about invasive species, go to tnuncharted.com. So I know that we've talked some already about life jackets, but we can't stress enough how important they are. Life jackets have really come a long way in the last few years, so they aren't necessarily what you may think. And I'm here with Jeff Robertson, who is a life jacket expert, if you will.
Yeah, when most people think of life jacket, they think of something like this. These are a little uncomfortable, though. These are a thing of the past. We got some new...
A little more old school there.
High-tech, quite more comfortable. These are inflatable life jackets, and these are the same thing. Have that Coast Guard approval label and have a pound or a chest size. These buckle on you, you forget they're there. They're not as uncomfortable with that. They even get better than this, though. This one's a smaller one. It goes around your waist, a belt pack. And the way these work is you enter the water. Some of them are automatic. As soon as you enter the water, they inflate for you. Some of them are manual. You just pull the cord. It inflates a life jacket. 70% of the fatalities on Tennessee waterways are drownings. It's usually an adult, which is not wearing their life jacket. It becomes one of those drowning statistics. So if we can get the adults to wear their jackets just like the child, we can bring that fatality number down dramatically. Tennessee is part of that Wear It program. We travel around to various lakes within the state, and as long as you sign a promise that you will wear your life jacket, we'll give you one of these for free. So look for those on your area lakes this summer.
So if you want to get out and play, make sure that you're safe and wear a life jacket. To find out more about the Wear It Tennessee program, go to tnuncharted.com, because these float and you don't. We just got back to the ramp, the tournament's wrapping up, and we're headed off to the weigh-in to see how our Maryville team did. So we'll see you there. So we're here at the weigh-in at the Bass Pro Shops High School Tournament Series, and I've got Tim and Johnny from Granger County. Now, both of your sons are teammates, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, have you gotten a report on how today went for them?
I was out earlier watching, and they had 4 at, I left about 11:30 or something, and I've not heard nothing since then. So
okay.
We don't know what they got.
In my school growing up, I didn't have this opportunity to be on a fishing team.
This is a sport that they can participate in all their life.
Yeah.
Football one day is, you know, in the past, but
that's right.
Fishing can always be in their future.
I hear you.
I still remember the day I got my first tackle box. It's one of the rites of passage into manhood for a boy in Tennessee. My dad bought me a dark brown 2-tray Plano with a light brown lid. To most people, I probably just looked like a sweaty kid carrying a half-empty tackle box. But little did they know, I was transformed. I was a sweaty kid carrying a half-empty tackle box full of hope and independence on his way to becoming a man.
So we're lining up, getting ready to do the weigh-in, and we've got our Maryville team here. How are you guys feeling? Are you excited or nervous?
We know we didn't win.
We know we didn't win.
We still got 5.
You already know you didn't win.
Yeah. We've seen some others.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Your takeaway, though, just on the whole day, I mean, how was just the overall experience?
It was great. Couldn't ask for a better day. It was nice and sunny, not too hot, so just
worst places you could have spent a Saturday morning, right?
This is great. I couldn't think of a better place right now.
So I'm here with Trevor and Craig. They are the winners of the Bass Pro Shops High School Tournament Series. Congratulations on your victory, guys.
Thank you.
How much weight did y'all have?
We had 16 pounds and 65 ounces.
Man, is that the most you guys have ever pulled?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd say for me it would be 2.
How was today's tournament compared to some of the tournaments you've done in the past?
Last time we was here at Douglas, we zeroed out and didn't dress well. And this time we caught about 30 or 40 drop.
Yeah, I say tell about 30 or 40.
Wow, just today or the whole weekend?
Today. Just today.
Gracious, so y'all had a great day.
Yep.
Well, what do you think about Douglas Lake just as a whole?
I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's always fish deep and some shallow, so I love it.
How does your fishing team compare to the other sports that you play?
Well, I mean, I've always really liked fishing better than anything. I mean, just getting out there and...
Getting outside, right?
Yeah.
It's a great way to spend a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to y'all, truly. And good luck in your next tournament.
Bass fishing on Douglas Lake has taught me a lot, but for now, I'm just gonna stick to my old dirty 2-tray Plano. I can still see it like it was yesterday, because in fact, I did. It's the same one I use today, but now I see much more than a tackle box. Amongst the lonely lures and spools of tangled fishing line, I not only find the fragrant aroma I love so much, I also find the story of a boy from West Tennessee learning what it means to be a man. A perfect plastic box, holding the memories of my past and the hopes of my present, preserved, compartmentalized, and safely carried with a convenient handle, patiently waiting for me to open it up and get a good whiff.